Nigerian public officer, Osayande Obaze, who is enmeshed in many controversies, has been appointed by President Bola Tinubu as a special investigator. His appointment by President Tinubu as special investigator to probe the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and other federal government agencies has raised the bar. Obaze, who was addressed by Tinubu as the CEO of the Financial Reporting Council in a letter he signed dated July 28, 2023, has previously been convicted of sexual harassment. He was convicted of sexually harassing former personal assistant Mrs. Abimbola Patricia Yakubu, although the former pastor with Redeemed Christian Church of God denied the allegations despite the court judgment. Sahara reporters could not independently ascertain whether he appealed against the judgment. Mr. Obaze was the executive secretary of the Financial Reporting Council in 2013 when Yakubu accused him of sexual harassment. She was later sacked, a development that forced her to institute legal action against the FRC for wrongful termination of her appointment and covering up sexual assault by its leadership. Mrs. Yakubu later won the lawsuit at the Kano Division of the National Industrial Court. Justice Oyewumi, who tried the case, did not only order the reinstatement of the claimant, but also awarded 5 million naira in her favor against Mr. Obaze. The court, in the judgment delivered on November 24, 2016, ordered the reinstatement of the claimant with full payment of her salaries, including for the years she was away from work over the illegal termination. The court found that Ms. Yakubu suffered unquantifiable mental and psychological trauma, low self-worth and dignity from Mr. Obaze's treatment. Okay, I award the sum of 5 million naira against the second defendant for sexually harassing the claimant, discrimination against her, inhumane and executive recklessness of the second defendant, thereby a hostile working environment for the claimant and for the violation of her human dignity and self-worth respect, the judge ruled. Apart from Mrs. Yakubu's case, Obaze was enmeshed in another controversy in 2014 when he nailed the former CBN governor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Obaze's FRCN was the one that recommended Sanusi's suspension and even rejected the responses of the former CBN governor to his query on grants, describing it as a clear display of incompetence, nonchalance, fraud, wastefulness, abuse of due process, and deliberate effort to misrepresent facts on the part of the leadership of CBN. Obaze, who was first executive secretary, chief executive officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, got himself into another muddy water of Nigeria's power play when he was also linked to the implementation of the controversial Corporate Governance Code 2016, which made Enoch Adeboye, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, to relinquish his position and announce Joseph Obayemi as his successor. Obaze stoutly defended the new law to the extent that he reportedly told church leaders who complained about what they saw as the government's attempts to interfere in the work of God that if they left or felt they should not be regulated, they should take their churches to heaven. The new law directed leaders of churches and mosques to resign their positions after 20 years at the helm of affairs or after attaining 70 years of age. It was in obedience to the directive that Pastor Adeboye reportedly resigned from leading Nigeria's branch of the RCCG. Adeboye stepping down generated tsunami-like response, and Obaze found himself nailed to the cross of sacking by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2017. In 2016, Mr. Obaze was also accused of siphoning public funds into his pockets from the agency years after allegedly taking bribes to recommend a federal takeover of some banks and the removal of Lamido Sanusi and the CBN governor. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had closely monitored his activities over a legion of petitions. In the petitions, he was accused of using consultants in handling the affairs of the agency and some expenditures in development he allegedly employed to stash away public funds through kickbacks. Obase had conducted investigation in the Central Bank of Nigeria. He also investigated the Bank of Industry, Zenith Bank of Nigeria PLC, Guarantee Trust Bank, and Access Bank PLC. The financial experts are served in several technical committees, including those on accounting in the petroleum industry, upstream activities technical committee on accounting for insurance business, technical committee on the accounting for statements of cash flows, committee of implementation guide to accounting for leases, and technical committee on accounting in the petroleum industry. Okay, yes, petroleum industry. We also investigate the bank guarantee and petroleum industry, downstream activities, among others. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting from the University of Benin, a Master of Science degree in accounting from the University of Lagos, and a certification in strategic financial analysis for business evaluation from Harvard University, USA. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, and a member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, NIM, and the American Accounting Association. Well, it is the rule of the game. Don't appoint a man or woman with clean record. The work is senator's job to probe or investigate the CBN. He should go also investigate the bullion van saga. Lobaton. This is exactly what you get when a town hall is different from Bala Blue. Nigeria, my country, the Diggers Association. It takes a saint to find saint. Leave him alone. Okay, he must be a renowned Democrat, the people's representative. If it is true, then he is incapable. This man also investigates the former governor of Anambra State, Tinubu. You are doing well. Nigeria must be one. When a fish wants to rot, it rots from the head. African proverb. If you want to answer your excellency, then the process that leads you to office must be excellent. You can't give what you don't have. Best of the same feather. They flock together. That is the dance of pot and for kettle. What a shame. Who is a saint in this country? And I recognize they want don't complain now. Everybody should just they stop complaining. But when it is somebody else, you can say they have done that. If not, if nobody is a saint, then why should you have a prison? Why should we have a cells? Nobody should be in cells. If that is the way you want to talk about it. Who is the saint? And now they say Agbado, now they talk all this kind of nonsense. African leaders are all same, especially Nigerian politicians, from top to bottom, all are corrupt and guilty charged. Nigeria, the worst of us is now ruling the best of us. Everyday scandal. Yeah. Everyday scandal.